Welcome to World Now at 4. I am Peace Ogenegbawe. First, let's talk the headlines. On the headlines, academics must contribute in reform. And on sport, no offers for Osimhen yet, says Napoli. Now the news in detail. Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has urged stakeholders, especially professional bodies, to make contributions towards addressing healthcare and tertiary education matters. He disclosed this while interacting with stakeholders on a number of topical national development issues. Osinbajo noted that with the rate of interest in tertiary education, Nigerians cannot cope with the brick-and-mortar approach, and that the people won't be able to cope with the numbers or in the near future because there will be millions who will not be able to get into schools. He further stated that one of the ways to deliberate about online tertiary education is to develop it to the point where Nigeria offers the best services in the sector. Christians all over the world have been urged to embrace love ahead of forthcoming 2023 general elections. This was disclosed during the Evangelical Church Winning All, that is the ECWA, on Sunday, as they held the opening ceremony of the 2022 revival service with the 2022 theme, Look, He is Coming with the Clouds. Our correspondent Esther Alexander was present at the event and now brings us the report.
As Christians await the second coming of the Lord, emphases have been laid on the need for Christians to become focused and make themselves available as instruments of revival. This was disclosed by Reverend Dr. Sunday Bubai Agang, Provost, Jos Ekwa Theological Seminary, that is JETS, and guest speaker at the opening ceremony of the 2022 Revival Program.
Love is what helps you to overcome selfishness, to overcome even sin. What will make you not to sin is not because people will not see you, but because you love God. It feels very uplifting and exciting to see the passion and commitment to the truth.
He added that love is the greatest of all commandments, and there is need to harness love and preach love to everyone. Also speaking, resident pastor Reverend Nash Azaki, Ekwa Church, Wuse Zone 2, buttressed on the need for Christians to conduct themselves ahead of the forthcoming 2023 election.
An emphasis on spirituality of members, because we recognize that we are pilgrims here. And as pilgrims, we are supposed to influence our world for our Christ. And so the essence of the emphasis here is to remind us of the truth so that we can be at work. Of that love we have for each other, we will be guided by love in our choices. Not just in our choices, but also how we conduct ourselves during this election.
Chairman of the 2022 Revival Ceremony, Buba Tubali, also shed more light on the essence of the Revival Program and what to expect in the remaining days of the Revival Program.
Yeah, Revival has always been a yearly event in our local assembly. Revival is intended to awaken our belief in the living God. And revival is also intended to strengthen our faith. That you need to always remind yourself that you are serving a living God. And through the revival, we are able to look back and see some of the areas where we have gone wrong so that we can make necessary steps to correct it. We expect that it will not just be the usual revival that we always witnessed in the past years. That this year there will be a turning around, that event of this year will touch many hearts and win more people to the kingdom.
Esther Alexander, Hills TV.
LEA has said that it has arrested one of the suspects, Suleiman Sidi, who escaped during the terror attack on Kuje prison last Tuesday. In a statement signed by the NDLEA Director, Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, today, it was revealed that the suspect was arrested at the motor park in Abuja. Part of the statement shared on their official social media page revealed that the fleeing terror suspect, Suleiman Sidi, was arrested in the early hours of Monday, July 11 at Area 1 Motor Park in the Federal Capital Territory while attempting to board a commercial vehicle to Maiduguri, Borno State. In an interview, Femi noted that the wanted terror suspect confirmed he was remanded at the Kuje Correctional Center for terrorism and robbery charges, adding that he was indeed one of the inmates who escaped from the facility last Tuesday. A check on the wanted list from the Nigerian Correctional Services revealed a Suleiman Sidi with a resemblance to the suspect arrested by the NDLEA. And away from that, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, that is APC, Bola Tinubu, has informed Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari of his decision to pick former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima as his running mate in the next year's election. The former Lagos State Governor was in Daura, Katsina State on Sunday to meet with the president, who is observing the Salah break in his hometown. After meeting and having lunch with him, Tinubu announced the waiting correspondents at the president's residence that he had chosen Shettima following the announcement a moment earlier that his placeholder, Ibrahim Masari, had voluntarily withdrawn his name from the slot. He noted that he was in Daura to pay Salah homage to Nigeria's president.
Well, we had a very good period of the season, this time of the year, and to really pay homage to him and then share part of his holiday and lunch, and equally discuss the question of my running mate substantia. One of them withdraw today. I mean, the only one that was in place as a replacement withdraw today, and there'll be already an announcement to replace him fully with a substantive Kashim Shettima.
When the news returns, news from other parts of Africa. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching World Now at 4 on Hills TV. The Ghana Immigration Service has directed its personnel to put in place strict measures that would prevent fleeing inmates from entering the country. Terrorists had attacked the Kuje Median Custodial Center on Tuesday, July 5, and freed 878 inmates, including those linked with terrorism. 443 had so far been recaptured, and on Friday, the Nigerian Correctional Service released the names and images of 69 fleeing inmates with terrorism cases. A leaked memo dated July 8, also signed on behalf of the Comptroller General by Lord Afrifa, the Ghana Immigration Service, stated that it was likely the escapees would attempt entering Ghana through both approved and unapproved routes. Away from that, on Sunday, police says 2 bar shooting, one in township close to Johannesburg and another in eastern South Africa, left 19 dead. In Soweto, it was reported that 15 people were killed as they enjoyed a night out, and police said when assailants drew up in a minibus taxi and began randomly firing at the bar patrons, this happened. In the eastern city of Pietermaritzburg, police reported 4 people were killed and 8 wounded during a shootout in a bar after 2 men fired discriminately at customers. We'll take a short break right now. Welcome back. Now to news from other parts of the world. The United States Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, has described assassinated former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe as a man of vision as the country's ruling party held mutual celebrations following a resounding election victory. The Liberal Democratic Party, that is the LDP, which Abe led for almost a decade, and its junior coalition party increased their majority in the upper house on Sunday, 2 days after Abe was shot during a campaign speech in the western city of Nara. The LDP and Komeito won 76 of the 125 seats being contested in an election overshadowed by the first assassination of the Japanese leader for almost 90 years. The election in the less powerful chamber in Japan's parliament had no bearing on the makeup of the government, but was seen as a referendum on Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's first 10 months in office. As 52% turnout was slightly up from 3 years earlier, and this trend some analysts attributed to Abe's death. Blinken, who had been in Bali attending G20 meetings, said he had flown to Japan because they were friends.
We just came from seeing Prime Minister Kishida. I'm really grateful to him for taking time to see us in this incredibly difficult time. And the reason we're here is because President Biden asked me to personally, on behalf of the President, on behalf of the American people, extend our condolences on the passing of former Prime Minister Abe. I shared with our Japanese colleagues the sense of loss, the sense of shock that we all feel, the American people feel, at this horrific tragedy and killing. We saw in him something rare, a man of vision who's had the ability to realize that vision. But mostly, I came at the President's behest because more than allies, we're friends.
Welcome back. Up next is business news after this break. To stay with us. Welcome back. As global prices rise, the cost of buying gas is becoming unbearable for many Kenyans, and the chase for alternatives is leading some to the forest for charcoal. Charcoal, an amphious form of carbon obtained when the wood is burned in minimal oxygen, is proven to be the easiest yet more damaging alternatives. Locals neighboring government forests are illegally logging and killing protected forests in earnest to get income. With charcoal prices going up from 400 to 700 Kenya's shilling, a 12-kilo cylinder rose from 1,600 Kenyan shillings in 2021 to 3,000 Kenyan shillings this year, more than doubling the price. Hundreds of people in China's Henan province attended a banking protest on Sunday, which turned violent after a clash with a group of unidentified men. Protesters said the banks had frozen their deposits because of supposed upgrades to their internal system, but had not been in communication since. Some 39 billion yuan is believed to have been frozen, leaving hundreds of thousands affected. And authorities later said they would announce a plan to address the issue later. Still to come, sports news on World Now at 4. To stay with us.
Good evening and welcome to Sports News on World Now at 4. I am Ainan Lubem. Now to sports news. Super Falcons forward Rashidat Ajibade has celebrated her team's victory over Burundi in the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, that is WAFCON. The Super Falcons defeated the Swallows of Burundi 4-0 at the Moulay Hassan Stadium, Rabat in Morocco on Sunday night. Ajibade scored the first goal of the game from the penalty spot after she was brought down by the opposing goalkeeper. Peace Effie scored the second goal of the game, while Uche Nakanu scored the third goal to end the first half 3-0. According to reports, Ajibade scored 10 goals from 23 appearances in the Primera Iberdrola last season. Atletico Madrid, the Femenino, were fourth in the Primera Iberdrola last season with 59 points from 30 games. Ajibade has scored 2 goals in 3 games at the WAFCON 2022 thus far. Up next for the Super Falcons is the quarter-final game against the Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon on Thursday, 14th of July. Napoli has confirmed several clubs are interested in signing Nigeria international Victor Osimhen, but have not yet received official offers for the striker. The former Lille star has 3 years left in his contract at the Stadio Maradona, but following a decent campaign during which he scored 14 Serie A and 4 Europa League goals, a number of European clubs have been linked with his scoring services in the summer. Manchester United, Arsenal and Bayern Munich are reportedly interested in the 23-year-old, and Napoli director Cristiano Guintoli has provided the latest update regarding the striker. The Partenope do not want to sell Osimhen but are aware of the interest from many clubs in Europe. Despite speculations linking Osimhen with a move away from the club, Napoli manager Luciano Spalletti only talks about the areas he believes the Nigerian can improve on when the new season begins. Elina Rybakina captured her first Grand Slam title with a 3-set victory over Ons Jabeur in the 2022 Wimbledon Women's Final on Saturday at the All England Club in London. Jabeur won the first set in the battle as the first-time major finalist, but Rybakina used her superior power to complete the comeback on the strength of 22 winners over the final 2 sets. Her third-seeded counterpart finished with 17 winners in the whole match. The 23-year-old Kazan entered the tournament as the number 17 seed and had never advanced beyond the quarterfinals in 11 Grand Slam appearances. And that's Sport News on World Now at 4. Back to Peace for the rest of the news.
finally snapped back at progressives who had been blasting Biden for not doing enough to protect abortion rights. The High Court sided with Mississippi's prosecutors late last month on their request to scuttle the federal abortion protections granted by Roe v. Wade. Emergency regarding abortion access. The president responded that he was asking his staff to see whether he has the authority and what the impact would be. And that's World Now at 4 on Hills TV. But before we go, here again are the headlines. We told you that academics must contribute in reforming healthcare, according to the Vice President. Ghana immigration warns against infiltration of escapees. On the international scene, we told you that Biden is weighing abortion-related public health emergency. And on sport, there are no offers yet for Osimhen, says Napoli. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hills TV, Instagram at Hills TV, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hills TV. I am Peace Organic Bawe. Thank you for watching.